Hello and welcome to Agile Outcomes. I'm your host, Daniel Spencer. Today we're going to take an introductory look at Agile. If you've never heard of Agile before, or just maybe it's been tossed around as a buzzword, this session is for you. We're going to cement your understanding with 3 takeaways to help reinforce it. Now, imagine you're going to work. You've had your coffee, you got in the car, you're climbing up the on-ramp, but this is what you see. What's your reaction? Not good, right? Tons of vehicles on the road, maybe some cars swerving, trying to get ahead of each other. You're worried about an accident. This is your commute to work. Now, what's interesting, with all the vehicles on the road, it seems like with all this activity, there should be lots of progress, right? But in fact, it's the opposite. There isn't much progress being made. So let's say you suffer through it, get to the office, now you're at your desk, open your laptop, and this is what you see. Wait, isn't that the same picture? Well, instead of vehicles, now it's a bunch of activities, action items. Maybe it's meetings on your Outlook calendar, some of which, by the way, you have to prepare for. Oh, and it's the 3 projects that you've been juggling with milestones, and there's follow-up that needs to happen. With all these balls you're juggling in the air, how do you keep it all straight? And more importantly, how do you know if you're making progress? What if you could wave a magic wand and suddenly this traffic cop would appear and immediately pull out the 4 most important activities you should be focusing on? Perhaps it's these 4. Well, what if these 4 were the most important? And they're based on the themes that are driving your organization. Let's say one is to increase Gen Z user base. Another is to target adjacent markets. We're doing well in the area that we're serving, but we could branch out. Maybe another is, hey, this platform, it served us well. We've had a good ride, but we really need to be looking at the next thing. So we need efforts that focus on that. And what about operational efficiency? There was that corporate mandate that we got to become lean and mean. So there should be activities related to these 4 themes. And that is takeaway number 1. Choose your themes. That's where you start to make sense of all the madness. Once you have your themes, and then you pick the supporting activities that are associated with those themes, then you stack rank them. Now you could use whatever criteria suits you. It might be ROI, could be based on milestones, could be based on innovation activities, retention, maybe there's some key clients that need attention, or those efficiency gains. Whatever logic you want to employ, whatever calculations you use it to create a forced stack ranking. This is going to help you with the next step. Takeaway number 2 is prioritize. Now, the next step is execution. So we've got our themes, we've got our priorities, now we need to execute. But how do you execute in an agile way? This is how we do it. We visualize those activities moving across left to right on a board. You can call it an activity board. Some people call it a Kanban board. And this is how it works. Take the top item. It's as simple as that. Move it into progress. The others have to wait. We put tremendous focus on this blue activity until it gets to done, at which point you bring in the next activity. Now, in this case, the team has decided it can accomplish both the orange and purple activities at the same time. It's not always true. Sometimes when you're multitasking, you become less efficient. Remember the cars on the freeway. That was too much multitasking, right? Nothing was getting done. In this case, we can go after the 2 items in parallel. Once those are knocked out, then you pull in the last item, the green item, into progress. What you're seeing here is an example of visualizing the flow. In fact, that is takeaway number 3, visualize flow. We need to be able to see the activities making progress every single day. And that's the key thing, every single day. If they begin to stall out, if things begin to stagnate, then you're reverting back to the freeway. Lots of activity, nothing making progress. We have to see them moving. Once you move the last activity to done, then you revisit. Go back to your themes. Not likely any of the things have changed. They're long lasting. Then you bring in the next activities related to those themes. Do your stack ranking activity again. So then you prioritize, which brings you back to this board. Then you visualize the flow from to do to done. All right, to recap, 3 takeaways. Choose your themes, prioritize, and visualize flow. That's it. That's your introduction to Agile. I'm your host, Daniel Spencer. This is Agile Outcomes.